you can take a page from Julie's book, because she was curious, she had a lot of questions, and she really pursued it, not just during her training, but she pursued it all the time. So we don't get good by just, you know, coming for a summer vacation a few years in a row. But, you know, that's what I was saying to you last week. Think about where your curiosity is, where your passion is, and go after it, whether it's something we talk about or not. But, I mean, we get good at things by doing them. And the purpose of the training is to give you a foundation for the learning that you can be self-learn, you know, that you can go on in any kind of situation, context to work with it. There's a lot. Yeah. All right. So where were we last week? Where did we end up? And I know where we ended up. So did you feel anything from that? Simon was telling me that he was working with his habit of not needing to get much attention, but it's a great example because, you know, when you work to change a habit, he was very quiet last week, and then all of a sudden the habit comes back 3 times stronger. So I think we should all look at his green socks. All right? Will that work out more? Yeah, we're attending to you, yeah. So, but I mean, it's true, you know, these habits, we don't lose them. They're always there ready to manifest, but the experiment's what's interesting, I think. Okay, good morning. But the unconscious is powerful, you know. Moshe said if it's a contest between the will and the unconscious will always win. So more to be said about that. But all right, so where are we with this? Any impressions over the weekend or anything you're wondering about? I think we really need to maybe take a look. Are you curious to see a few people after my remarks? As long as it's not you being watched. Any comments? Did you work on it over the weekend? To try to figure out the difference between what you were doing and no, you just said, I'm forgetting about that for the moment. Okay. Anything?
I was just trying to make connections, like spoke last week of taking it off the floor and, you know, trying to get all the connections together and feeling it, you know, like that it's just not my arms going up in the air, that it's all of the shoulders and the back and, you know, just trying to get them. I don't know, you might think like in, you know, how you see a robot, you know, getting all the connections together. So,
well, why don't you stand up and do that? So we can, first of all, so we can all see you. Because
thanks.
Well, because I mean, it's not. It's related to where we're going to go today. So let's see what you're thinking.
With it is, you know, like instead of just walking, you know, like that, trying to, you know, like trying to twist and just trying to get it all together. But it feels so wrong. But you know, it's wrong.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. What's right? You know, you still don't know what the hell you're doing, so that's okay. But it's not a problem. But you know, what's right is that you're curious, you're passionate, and you're experimenting. And you're taking it home with you on the weekend and trying to feel, how does it go through my entire self? And Moshe is going to help you out with that today. So, good question, good experiment. And but I mean, there is this thing after a lesson. Sometimes that's our opportunity to feel that the coordination is happening by itself if we can catch a glimpse of it.
Last week, that's what I felt.
Yeah.
You know, when and I was saying this.
Yeah. Yeah. Walking in very, very slow motion, you know? You have to go like...
Just let it happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll get clearer, it'll get easier. We don't really hold on to, but we have an impression of something that goes somewhere and influences things. Yeah, 1 second, yeah. Good morning. How are you?
Thank
Good.
you.
Good.
Kind of.
Kind of. Kind of. Yeah. You don't want to be too good. Be careful. Yeah.
What I'm still struggling with is that one-sided concept, because I've done quite a bit of work on my right side last week, and I feel totally out of sync. And obviously the carryover to the left doesn't work, because Moshe often works one-sided, and I find I become more and more one-sided.
Doesn't work yet. Suspend your disbelief, as they say in theater.
Okay.
You have to suspend your disbelief and say, oh, these characters aren't real or whatever. It doesn't work yet. But that's what you found, was that it didn't work. But, you know, I mean, the thing is, we can't, you know, that's the will thing again. We need a light touch. Because if we demand, you know, if we demand that something feels, and you know your right and left side don't feel, I mean, you have a strong difference, and you're just now starting to bring that left arm back into contact and get the left side to wake up. So, was the right arm? Okay. Oh, well, so your right side was better than your left.
I'm right-footed, though.
Yeah.
So, and I noticed that when I walk, I very strongly favor my right.
Okay. Well, we're not done with the experiment, right? Just keep looking, experimenting, but don't, because the minute you feel I need to be a different way, then the effort goes up, the muscular work goes up, the sensitivity goes down. And in fact, that reminds me today, we have to find a way to be much, much lighter today than what we did on Friday. That's one of my things. Half the effort. Because people did it, you were okay, you did it. It was, some people found some great, you know, integration, but some people are still working too much with their superficial muscles, with their I can do the movement attitude, you know, and it really is just gymnastics then. It doesn't create as deep a change as what we can have. So, okay. Yeah. Morning.
Morning. I just wanted to say what stood out to me was like the spreading attention part.
Yeah.
I drove for the first time through Melbourne three times over the weekend. And it was just incredible to negotiate through places I've never been before, but not feel so stressed because of images just coming in and being available to know. Yeah,
you could do more than one thing at the same time. Drive, look around, in the street. Good. That's a great example of something showing up in life. Yeah. Malaysia. Glenn, yeah, morning.
I'm going against one of my habits, so I'm trying not to talk. For me, one of the hardest things, like one of the things I was looking at on the weekend was this idea of not moving fast.
Yeah.
And for some things I can go slow. Things that I've done, like some of the pelvic clock movements and things, I can go really slow and it's not a problem. But when it's something new or something I'm sort of working on, I get really irritated. Like the other day when we were doing the foot movement on all fours, I thought I was going slow, and then I was behind Fiona and I was watching her foot and I'm going, oh, that's slow.
Yeah.
And then when I started doing it at the speed she was doing it at, I start getting, it's hard to explain, like it going that slow kind of irritates me. But so trying to understand the difference between my slow and what seems to be a lot of other people's slow is, I don't know what that means, but just trying to work on slow.
If I were to put myself in your place, I'm going to just hazard a guess because I'm not in your place. But, you know, if I were to try to make an empathetic leap there, what I could imagine is that you'd be doing a movement. If you go too slow, you don't know where anything is.
Yeah, it gets
and when
lost.
You go fast, you give yourself the feeling of connection. Something like that. So something that could be interesting to try, and maybe there'll be opportunities today to do it, is if you for instance, and I don't know that that lesson of Marg's is like the #1 best
that was
lesson
just
to try
one example
it in,
that I've
but,
tried it on.
You know, but let's say we're doing head rolls or something, which we will be. And some of these positions this morning are a little bit challenging, but like just in the beginning, take a part of the circle and try to connect the head to one other part. Slowly. Try to get one, you know, get two things. So you have foreground, background. Foreground is the rolling of the head. We're all going to work with that. But then background is some other part of yourself. So get two things and then keep those two things going. See, and you don't have to do the whole movement. And then see if you can add a third thing. And then work like that so that the slowness has something of interest. Because maybe you just get the irritation is because you don't know where things are and where you are and what you're doing. Except when you're going, when you give yourself the illusion of, yeah, it's all happening. It's all happening. But then, but I'm actually quite asymmetrical in this all happening. But I won't feel it unless I really start studying. Oh, that goes here and this doesn't. So it can be interesting if you find a way to experiment with it that's not just all or nothing. Mm. In between the fast and the slow and irritated, there's a whole world waiting for you of discovery, really. So see if you can play with it a little bit. Maybe that'll help.
Okay, give it a shot. Can't hurt.
All right, good. But great that you're open to it, you know? Great that you're open to it. Of course, you do get punished a little bit if you go fast in a Feldenkrais training. But we're not about punishing, right? No, it's great. It's great. That's self-knowledge. At least there's a crack. The doors open a bit. The windows open a bit. They're open. And then you need positive experience on the other side of the door that will help you go on with it. All right, let's go on. I think everybody who's coming is here. So, so first of all, sitting with the soles. Well, I think I should let you lie down. Lie down. Lie on your back.